Picture this. You're walking back to your car, and your heart just entirely sinks. There it is, that unmistakable bright neon envelope stuck right under your windshield wiper. It kind of ruins your whole day instantly, right? Look, we've all been there. It's a universal dread. And you know that if you don't take care of it quickly, those late penalties are going to start piling up fast. But hey, here is the good news. You don't have to take time off work or go stand in a painfully long line at some city treasury office to settle this. In this explainer, I'm going to give you a really clear, structured, step-by-step guide to resolving your parking fine entirely online, right from the comfort of your couch. Wait, before we go any further, I have to ask you a crucially important question. You got a ticket in Portland, sure, but which Portland? Seriously, this is a massive plot twist that trips up so many people when they try to pay online. We are actually dealing with two completely different Portlands here. You've got Portland, Oregon on the West Coast and Portland, Maine on the East Coast. And as you'll see in just a minute, they have vastly different legal and technical systems for handling parking citations. If you log into the wrong portal, you're just going to be frustrated, and worse, your ticket will go unpaid.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap. First, the two Portlands problem. Then we'll cover Portland, Oregon's OJD e-pay system, followed by Portland, Maine's RMC pay system. After that, we'll look at legal pleas and extra fees, troubleshooting your payment, and finally, avoiding future fines.
Section 1. The two Portlands problem. So the core difference really comes down to this. Out in Portland, Oregon, your parking ticket isn't just a local city matter. The data actually has to migrate from the Portland Bureau of Transportation's field devices all the way up to this massive, highly formalized state-level judiciary portal. It's called OJD ePay. On the flip side, Portland, Maine handles their parking tickets strictly locally. They use a dedicated, decentralized municipal portal called RMC Pay. And because it's managed right there at the city level, it operates very differently.
Section 2, Portland, Oregon, and the OJD ePay system. Let's head to the West Coast first. Now, here is a really fascinating and frankly important number to keep in mind, 48. Because the Oregon system requires data to physically travel from city parking enforcement all the way up to the state courts, you literally cannot pay your ticket immediately. For Multnomah County citations, motorists actually have to wait at least 48 hours for the ticket to even show up in the online portal. And in some instances, depending on their processing, it can take up to 15 days. So if you try to pay from your smartphone while you're still standing next to your car, the system will just tell you the ticket doesn't exist. You have to be patient. Wait at least 3 business days before starting this process.
All right, once enough time has actually passed, here is your game plan. Step 1. Check your physical ticket closely for your payment deadline and the specific violation details. Then, access the OJD Court's ePay portal online. Read through the administrative eligibility terms and just click the green Start Now button. Step 2, you're going to use the Smart Search function to query the state database. Step 3, once your ticket finally pops up, you will be required to enter a no contest plea before you can finalize your payment. Now, we'll talk about what that plea actually means legally in just a moment. Step 2 is honestly where most folks get completely stuck, so listen up to these highly specific search tips to help you out. When you open that Smart Search, make sure to expand the advanced filtering options. If you want to search by your license plate, you absolutely must select Case Cross-Reference Number. If you're searching by the unique number on your physical ticket, select Citation Number. And here is a massive pro tip. You must type in any alphabetic prefixes exactly as they appear on the paper. So if your ticket says A, N, O, or U right before the numbers, type them in. Also, keep in mind that legitimate OJD case numbers usually look something like 25PK 654321. They do not begin with the letters SP. If you get all this right, your citation is going to load perfectly.
Let's move over to the East Coast. Section 3, Portland, Maine, and the RMC pay system.
Because Portland, Maine uses a rapid update municipal database, you can actually query and resolve your citation shortly after it's issued. It's way faster. Step 1 is simply to navigate to portlandmay.rmcpay.com. Step 2 is to search for your ticket. Now, RMC Pay is incredibly flexible. You can search using your citation number, your vehicle's full VIN, a pre-established payment plan ID, or, and this is a big one, even a boot device ID if your car has been immobilized. Step 3 is just paying the designated waiver fee, which settles the violation.
So, this next number is one you absolutely cannot ignore if you live and or visit Maine. 3. In Portland, Maine, accumulating just 3 unpaid parking tickets subjects your vehicle to being booted and towed. No joke. It is entirely your responsibility to keep track of your unpaid tickets, which, thankfully, you can easily do by searching your license plate on that RMC Pay portal. Please,
Don't let 3 little slips of paper turn into a massive towing ordeal. Moving right along to Section 4, legal pleas and extra fees. Because, nothing is truly free, right? Neither city lets you pay online without a little extra cost. They both use non-refundable gateway fees. In Portland, Oregon, every single online transaction gets hit with a $1.50 administrative processing fee. But the good news is they accept a really wide array of cards: Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express. Now, over in Portland, Maine, you'll be hit with a slightly higher $3 credit card convenience fee. Plus, their online portal is way stricter. It literally only accepts Visa and MasterCard. So if you're an Amex user on the East Coast, you're definitely going to need a backup card ready to go. But honestly, the fees aren't the biggest cost here. The legal implications are. When you pay an open violation online in Oregon, you are mandatorily entering a no-contest plea. And according to the Oregon Judicial Department, this means you officially acknowledge you'll be found guilty, you must pay the fine, and most importantly, you permanently waive your right to a trial or any sort of fine reduction. And a very similar concept applies out in Maine. Paying that waiver fee online means you voluntarily forfeit your right to an administrative appeal or a formal court hearing. You're basically choosing pure convenience over having your day in court. Okay, what if things go wrong? Section 5, troubleshooting your payment. Look, civic websites aren't exactly known for being cutting-edge tech. If either portal throws an error or just fails to load, the judicial branches actually have some officially recommended technical fixes. First off, make sure your operating system and your browser are fully updated, whether you're using Windows, Mac, iOS, or Android. Second, clear your browser's cache. You'd be amazed, but this actually solves the vast majority of page loading errors. Finally, if you're using some older, obscure browser, try switching to Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, or Mozilla Firefox. Oh, and a quick aside, once your payment actually does go through, always take a screenshot or print out the confirmation receipt page. You absolutely want a personal record with that confirmation number, just in case there's some random database glitch and the city claims you never paid. Almost done. Section 6, avoiding future fines. If you're out driving in Portland, Oregon, you absolutely have to download the official Parking Kitty mobile app. It is such a fantastic pay-by-plate system. This basically means no more paper receipts or weird window stickers to lose. You just type in your license plate, pick your zone, and pay. But the absolute best part? The app actually sends push alerts directly to your phone when your time is running out. And you can just extend your parking session remotely without having to sprint down the block back to the meter. It is literally the most effective life hack to avoid ever seeing that neon envelope again. Just a quick heads up before we wrap up, the information provided in this explainer is accurate based on city and state resources as of August 2026. However, as we all know, civic systems, web portals, and administrative fees can and absolutely do update over time. So always double check the exact procedures on your local Portland government websites before taking any action. And that brings us to the end of our explainer. But I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought to chew on. When you get a parking ticket, is the absolute convenience of paying it online, like sitting in your pajamas at home, truly worth instantly waiving your right to dispute the charge or have your day in court? It's a real legal trade-off we all just sort of make in the modern age. Anyway, if you found this breakdown helpful and you want more structured, time-saving guides to navigating all these everyday complexities, make sure to hit subscribe. Until next time, keep your eyes on the signs and park smart.